God, I lost everything. My life is over. Lord, please forgive me. These are the words that will repeatedly go through Chris's head, over and over and over. Haunted by what most of us would have considered a very blessed life. I read many angry comments on how Chris threw away a life that many people only dream of. The American dream, really. Beautiful wife, kids, and life all gone. Welcome back to the island. Please like and subscribe as we continue to delve into this unimaginable situation that Christopher Lee Watts put himself into. Chris just confessed. He realizes his life is about to change. His inexperience with the system led him to confess. Had Chris requested an attorney and kept his mouth closed, he would have went home for one more day. I'm definitely glad things went the way they did, though. He is being processed into the system for the first time in his life, which can be a little scary when you don't know what to expect. They stripped him of his shoes and have extra officers handy because he's a level 3 inmate in protected custody. Welcome to maximum security. Yep, a new chapter for you. He gets to wear belly and ankle restraints. Comfort was a thing of the past from that day forward. 2-inch mats, plastic and metal is what he gets to rest on now. He will be told when to wake up, when to eat, when to shower, and when to sleep for the rest of his life, and deservingly so. Colorado knew they couldn't keep him safe. Dodge is a maximum security prison that also serves as a hub for all convicts to go through to get classified and get their blood drawn. If you get sentenced to prison anywhere in Wisconsin, you will go through Dodge first. When investigators came to visit Chris Watts at the Dodge Correctional Institution, they asked him how it was in there in comparison to Colorado, in which Chris responded, "It's a lot different from Colorado. It's better, I think. Here I'm actually around other people. I mean, in Colorado, it was just like I was segregated, and there was like people pounding on the walls all night, screaming and taunting me. They were just telling me how I should just kill myself, like what they're gonna do to me, all that kind of stuff. So this is a little different." Chris Watts just described exactly why Colorado shipped him off. See, in county jail, it's different from prison. Inmates still have access to a current newspaper and get to watch the news in the day room. So inmates knew what Watts was in there for, and I'm sure they were waiting for an opportunity. Inmates with nothing else to lose will begin to plot their attack on someone like Chris. Chomos, also known as child molesters and baby killers, are prime targets. I think if Chris knew what prison life was really like, he would have went and called that divorce lawyer and started preparing for separation. Chris would be free with NK, starting a new life, looking for a new apartment. Shanann and those girls would still be alive today. Prison sucks. Some of us get lucky enough to get a second chance at freedom and learn our lessons after paying that debt to society, and we'll never go back to prison. But then you have guys like Watts, who offend one time, but their crime is so heinous that a second chance is out of the question. One and done. Those guys never do well. There are people out there that have been in and out of jail or prison so many times that are now institutionalized and aren't afraid of prison anymore. Might even look at prison as a vacation or a home away from home, which is a sad thing. This is Chris's first time, so he will struggle. He will have many bad days. There are no second chances for his crimes, and that will continue to eat away at him. The longer Chris sits, the more he will regret. I know for a fact he is in bad shape, mentally. Church helps, but church can be risky for him. Many inmates get shanked or stabbed during service. Church service is an ideal opportunity for a planned attack. It's a whole different world on the inside. The best way to describe it is a city within a city, with its own politics and rules, and you will abide by them if you want to survive. For the average inmate on a parole violation, facing 2 to 5, it's not too bad when you stay busy. Inmates can either work in the kitchen, laundry, maintenance, or tagging license plates. As long as you're not a showmo, aka child molester, or a baby killer, or a snitch, you'll be fine. The best thing to do is just stay the hell out of prison though, because inmates can detect first-timers from a mile away. Hello, Sherilyn. March 14th, 2019. I'm sorry I haven't written you back when you wrote me the first 2 letters. You have to imagine, I'm very skeptical about who I write back. And when I saw you wanted to write a book, I said nope. Although this letter you just sent me felt like God was giving me an ultimatum to write you back. I'm not sure exactly why, because I have turned several other journalists and authors down. When the FBI and CBI came to prison to speak to me, I had no idea they were coming. I felt like it was God telling me to clear my wife's name since so many people were confused about what happened. And well, if God tells you to do something, you do it. I'm currently on protective confinement since this last media storm, so I'm limited on telephone use and everything else. Corresponding by mail is our best bet for now. Thank you for the Bible. They weren't supposed to let me keep it, but they did. God's work. I have a KJV Bible, and I'm already comparing them back and forth. Some words have always confused me. I like the idea of telling people how I came to my faith, how God can turn any pain and suffering into bringing something new to be born, and recognizing when something evil takes a hold of your life. We are attacked all day long, and if people can learn to rest in His peace, joy, and love, a lot would change. I couldn't keep the self-addressed envelope you sent me. Not sure when that rule will change. I will do a book with you, if you for sure will be willing to give me a chapter where I can tell about my forgiveness in coming to faith, so maybe it will help someone else to not take the path I did. If I can help even one person, it would be worth it. I hope this letter finds you in good spirits, and I will close with one of my favorite scriptures. God bless, Chris. And he said unto me, My grace is made sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong. Author Sherilyn Cadle wrote Chris 3 times before Chris finally responded. Sherilyn was clever in giving Chris a chapter. It's easy to turn to God when you're in prison. People suffer in prison. Naturally, we turn to God. If Chris were released from prison today, do you think he would continue to live as a Christian, read his Bible, hold Bible studies at home, become a pastor? I don't think so. He is only seeking the word because he is afraid. And that's okay. It's meant for those in pain who are going through hard times. Mr. Watts is a high-profile target. Both inmates and prison guards feel the same way about him. Do not be mistaken. Corrections officers can be very brutal and do abuse their power. Jeffrey Dahmer was advised repeatedly to stay in protected confinement. Dahmer was a pretty clever guy. He wanted out of prison, so he chose general population. He began to taunt other inmates at chow time, sculpting his food to resemble human body parts. He wanted to die, so he did. Doing time in PC is like jail inside a prison. Chris Watts can say, hey, let me out, I want to go to general population, and they will have to grant his wishes. The warden would probably have a long talk with him first, try to talk him out of it, but ultimately they would have to let him. They cannot force protection, only recommend it. If Chris requested this, you know he wants out, like Dahmer did. Dear Sherilyn, April 23rd, 2019. Hello again. I hope you're doing well. It has been awesome talking with you on the phone, but I know the 15-minute time frame is a pain. Sometimes I can get right back on the phone, but right now there are other inmates that like to be on the phone as much as I do, so I respect their time as well. How's your dad doing? I've been praying on that every day. Yes, that petition really blew my mind, that people really want to make me suffer like that. Even if they did ever take my pictures, They can't take my memories. An inmate from another institution wrote me about the subject and said, if they take your pictures, they would need to take the pictures from other inmates, 500, 600 people that have their family pictures up on their cell, convicted of the same act. Do I feel like I should be incarcerated for the act I committed? I most definitely think so. Do I imagine myself ever doing anything like this or being a danger to society? I must say I think not. I most definitely think not. If I were to ever be released, I know I would go straight to a ministry and start going to jails/prisons and help inmates. If God led me to be ordained, I would go that route as well. Possibly even be a chaplain. Maybe the laws will change one day. My attorney team could see I was different and knew that this was a one-time occurrence for me. They told me that in Europe, the law is I would serve 20 years or so for homicide, and in California, 25 years of imprisonment on a life sentence. You can be released if you had good behavior. So there's hope for everyone to live outside prison walls. I know physically I'm behind these walls, but my spirit is free with Christ. If God keeps putting it in your heart that there is more to the story than what I told the FBI has, you're correct. I don't like saying stuff like that over the phone because I'm never certain when they screen my calls. I know I already told you the vision I had before August 13th when I was lying in bed and all the lights were on, in the loft and downstairs, and I felt so alone. That's exactly what happened on April 14th when I was lying in bed. I don't know if you want this in the book or if God does, but here are the things I left out. August 12th, when I finished putting the girls to bed, I walked away and said that's the last time I'm going to tuck my babies in. I knew what was going to happen the day before, and I did nothing to stop it. I was numb to the entire world. I had literally taken my kids to a birthday party, played with water balloons, had an amazing time, sang songs all the way home, gave them a bath and shower, ate dinner, read bedtime stories, and sang bedtime songs. And still nothing registered. I always enjoyed taking the girls to places or playing outside because it was our opportunity to bond. And still, the night before, I couldn't stop myself from what I knew would occur the next morning. August 13th, morning of, I went to the girls' room first, before Shanann and I had our argument. I went to Bella's room, then Cece's room, and used a pillow from their bed to kill them. After Shanann had passed, Bella and Cece woke back up. I'm not sure how they woke back up, but they did. That made the act that much worse, knowing that I went to their rooms first. I still took their lives at the location of the batteries. The reason the medical examiner found oxycodone in Shanann's system is because I gave it to her. I thought it would be easier to be with Nicole if Shanann wasn't pregnant. I don't know if this was a spiritual visit, but I had a dream. Cece was dancing next to the chair in my cell. When she was dancing, all of my folders on the chair started moving, and I thought she was in trouble, so I said, "Watch out, get away, watch out." Then I woke up. I'm hoping she comes back. I'm hoping everyone comes to visit me.
I like that shirt. Really? So pink means...
That's just the test.
I know. It's just if the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just the chest.
That's awesome. Guess when you want to, it happens.